And this morning, we put the spotlight on a female director who's breaking the gender bias in the film industry. Gabriela Serrano is a multi-awarded illustrator and graphics designer whose interest in the visual arts led her to pivot to film and production as a director. Her works often revolve around gender and youth. And Direk Gaby joins us now in the program to tell us more. Good morning to you, Direk. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, good morning, Christine. Thank you for having me.
Well, congratulations. You are now one of the emerging young directors in our country today. But before we talk about filmmaking, let's first talk about you being an illustrator, a graphic designer. I mean, you've been doing that for over a decade. I mean, you started when you were like, what, 15 years old or so. What made you decide, or what inspired you, to explore film and production from doing something for such a long time?
Illustration and graphic design was my primary interest growing up. I really grew up drawing and making comics. But I was also interested in other things. I was into making music. I was writing poetry. I was sewing. I had all these other interests that I wanted to pursue, but then of course, I wanted to stick to my strengths, especially when it came to deciding on a major for college. So I went the route of visual art and illustration. But then when I was in college, I actually had a cinema appreciation class and started watching more movies. And then that was when I realized that film was kind of the medium where I could incorporate all the interests that I had growing up, since you can do all these different creative pursuits within a film project. And so when I made that realization, that's when I decided that maybe film would be the best kind of medium I could try out and maybe utilize to express ideas and find my own voice.
I mean, it definitely seemed like the best of both worlds and how you're all able to blend that together. I mean, quite recently, talking about your debut short silent film, I mean, it is amazing. It is your first time. This was late last year. And you actually won awards, Best Film and Best Director for this silent film. Of course, making use of all the visuals and how you were able to portray a story in such a short amount of time. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I had been wanting to make a short film of my own for the longest time, but I started out in the industry doing other jobs, primarily being an editor for different video and television projects. And when the chance for me to make this film last year arrived, thanks to the Film Development Council of the Philippines, I really wanted to jump at it, and thankfully, my pitch for the film was selected, and it was a challenge. It was baptism by fire for me and my team, who were also mostly first-time filmmakers or first-time workers within a film production. It was really, really challenging, but then we were all driven by the fact that we wanted to make a good first impression, and we wanted to utilize this format in an interesting way, and of course use the silent film, which of course is a retelling of Jose Nepomuceno's original silent film Ang Manananggal. We wanted to celebrate the Philippine heritage of film that we have loved for as long as we had been in this industry together, or in the creative industry in general. So that was really interesting. And of course, we're still in disbelief that we won all these awards and received so much recognition for our work as first timers. So we're really, really glad that we made this project. And personally, as a director, as a first time director, it was really, really good for me and really, really validating. Getting all this recognition really, really kind of told me that maybe I'm in the right path and I'm doing the right thing.
Definitely you are in the right path. I mean, so young to have achieved and done so much. Direk, is this where you actually want to go? I mean, what's next for you? More films in the framework for the next year?
Definitely. I would love to make new material. Me and my sister, who is also my co-writer, we're actually developing some new film projects. We're hoping to produce them within the year. But we'll see. We're also pursuing different creative things together. My sister is an actor. I'm also writing and doing more artwork myself. So we're really looking forward to pursuing film, but also, again, looking at film as a holistic thing where we get to bring in our other interests and explore those.
Thank you so much for being with us, Direk Gaby, and of course, expecting great things from you. Thank you for joining us here on New Day.